Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Langer at the Mic Live. This time we're doing a Cowboys edition of Langer at the Mic Live. We're going to preview the Cowboys versus the New England Patriots matchup tomorrow night in just about around, 12, 16 hours or so. 4:25 start tomorrow in Foxborough. Cowboys 4-1, 3-1, 4-1 on the year. Going from hockey to football is interesting. But yeah, Cowboys 4-1 on the year. Patriots 2-3 on the year. Cowboys coming off the big win against the Giants. The Patriots coming off a probably closer than expected win against Davis Mills and the Houston Texans. So honestly, I'm going to go right into just quickly overviewing each position group, matching up against each position group. But then when we get to the bottom line here, which I believe is Kellen Moore versus Bill Belichick, which is what will decide this game either way. So let's get right into the matchups. And we're going to start with the defense, the Cowboys defense versus the Patriots offense right now. So Shaq Mason is going to be out for the Patriots. The right guard Shaq Mason, who is one of the really valuable offensive linemen. So Ted Karras, I think Karras is going to replace him, which means Osa Odighizuwa, who's been having a great season thus far, should have great opportunities. Randy Gregory also has been amazing for the Cowboys. Only 2 sacks on the year, but a ton of pressures in every single game. And yeah, so it's going to be so I expect the Patriots, who usually are pretty good at holding up in pass blocking, and Mac Jones has been a guy that has been throwing the ball as making quick decisions, accurate passing, but not forcing too many tight window throws and not going for too many explosive plays. So just real quick, I feel like this matchup here comes down to the Cowboys. Again, Osa Odighizuwa taking advantage of a couple of opportunities. Jaron Kearse in the box. I have Jaron Kearse here as kind of a linebacker. I guess you could fill him in as the Jalen Smith type of role, playing sort of linebacker, sort of safety. He's been great this year so far. And Micah Parsons, of course. Where's Micah Parsons going to line up this week? Will he line up as a Sam linebacker, as a middle linebacker, as an edge rusher on the right, edge rusher on the left? Who knows? We'll see. So yeah, not really much to mention here. I would say this is advantage if the Cowboys can just in terms of their pass rush, if Randy Gregory can give Isaiah Wynn some trouble on that left side of the Patriots offensive line, and if Osa can keep playing the way he's been playing all year to get to Mac Jones, then the Cowboys will have a great advantage. Although, again, Mac Jones good at getting the ball quick, which means that the linebackers, whether it's Parsons, Keanu Neal, Leighton Vander Esch, or Jaron Kearse, will have to be good at tackling on quick throws. And that brings me to the next point here, the Cowboys secondary versus the Patriots weapons. So nothing really standing out here in terms of their weapons. I mean, Jacoby Myers has been a pretty good do-it-all type of, sometimes running plays on the jet sweep. Sometimes I think he even threw a couple of passes for the Patriots. So, and Nelson Aguilar is definitely a guy who can beat his man with speed. But obviously the news of the week has been Trayvon Diggs, who has been dealing with a bit of an injury and has been limited or has been held out of practice all week and dealing with an ankle injury. But at least he got in a bit of a limited practice yesterday, and he is set to be a game time decision for tomorrow afternoon. But if he can't go, this is where will we see Maurice Kennedy play on the outside, or will we see Kennedy replace Jordan Lewis and Jordan Lewis kick back outside? So obviously, if Trayvon Diggs with 6 interceptions through the first 5 games of the season, does he keep the streak alive if he plays? We'll see. I mean, like I said, Mac Jones has not been putting the ball into harm's way too often this year. And especially if Mac Jones is throwing the ball quickly, I don't envision there being too many opportunities for interceptions, but he does have 5 INTs on the season. So, hey, we'll see. Yeah, there might be chances for Trayvon Diggs to get his 6th or 7th interception, 7 for number 7. That'd be really awesome. But he has to play first. He has to be healthy enough to play. Now, let's get right into what I think will be, like I said, the deciding factor in this one. Looking at the Cowboys front here, Tyron Smith is also questionable with a bit of a neck injury. basically got held out of last year because of that neck injury. 1 second. But yeah, so Tyron Smith, if he can't go, I think he'll be okay to go because he is just more of a maintenance process for him. Same thing for Ezekiel Elliott. Same thing for Randy Gregory, as I didn't mention before, but I'm not too worried about them playing. But obviously, I think Tyron Smith, if he can't go, that would be the biggest loss. Even after, I would say, even if Trayvon Diggs can't go, I'd rather have Tyron Smith playing as well as he's been playing all season. I'd rather lose. If I had to choose, I'd rather keep Tyron Smith over Trayvon Diggs, but I think Tyron Smith will be okay. Just the interesting points here to highlight is Matt Judon here, one of the really good pass rushers, former Baltimore Raven, I believe, and yeah, he is definitely someone that the Cowboys would have to account for in terms of protecting Dak, and also Lawrence Guy, Davin Godchaux are solid in the middle. Chase Winovich is a guy who's pretty good against the run. Dante Hightower, quietly one of the best linebackers in the league, and he was an opt-out last year, but he is back for the Patriots. And quick look at their secondary. Obviously, no Stephon Gilmore. He got traded to the Carolina Panthers a couple weeks ago, but they're going to line up with a lot of guys in the box, but they're going to keep it either nickel or dime, which means Kyle Duggar, Adrian Phillips as box safeties will be active. But here's the thing, though. Jalen Mills, Amari Cooper spoke about facing Jalen Mills as an Eagle. He spoke about that on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas, and how he, sometimes if you face a guy on a different team in a different scheme, it could be different compared to facing him otherwise, or like with the Eagles, let's say. So we'll see if Jalen Mills draws Amari Cooper in coverage, but JC Jackson's still a really good player for the Patriots. Yeah, so but here's where it comes down to, honestly. I'm going to get right to it. Here's what it comes down to is Kellen Moore has been phenomenal at calling plays this year, has been phenomenal at mixing it up, picking weaknesses in the other team's defense, whether it's running with Ezekiel Elliott up the middle, running with Tony Pollard to the outside, airing it out to CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Dalton Schultz, who's been phenomenal this year, and Cedric Wilson even. So the Cowboys have been very much pick your poison all year, and that's why they've been so effective. But there is a guy by the name of Bill Belichick coaching the New England Patriots still. And so it's going to come down to if Bill Belichick can give Kellen Moore and the Cowboys offense, if Belichick can make them uncomfortable, the same way he did Brady and the Bucs offense a couple weeks ago, winning only the Bucs had to win 19-17 up there in Foxborough. Obviously, Belichick must have been highly motivated to prove a point against his former generational quarterback in Tom Brady. But in this one here, will this be a slugfest? And also, here's another thing. The weather will be favorable for the Cowboys. I don't think it's going to be an ugly monsoon the way it was in 2019. But if Bill Belichick can out-scheme Kellen Moore, he doesn't have the personnel to do it. But if, let's say, with putting 8 guys in the box, going with cover 1, and if J.C. Jackson holds up in coverage, and if the Patriots can make Dak Prescott uncomfortable in the pocket and make him unload it quicker than he wants to, and get him out of rhythm with his receivers, the same way you kind of saw Dak early on in that Giants game last week, obviously before he aired it out to CeeDee Lamb for a 49-yard touchdown, and then to Amari Cooper for the big touchdown. If the question is, can Bill Belichick do that to Dak Prescott and Kellen Moore and the Cowboys offense over the course of 4 quarters? That's what it will come down to. But if not, I think Kellen Moore, just maybe not in terms of scheme. I know the question is, can Kellen Moore out-scheme Bill Belichick? But it comes down to the Cowboys just having way better personnel on offense, and Kellen Moore just having to force the Patriots to pick their poison. So that's what it's going to come down to. But the Patriots have a chance if they can somehow if Bill Belichick can mix it up and maybe not play cover 1, maybe play cover 2, but fill the box somehow. So that's the key matchup here is Bill Belichick versus Kellen Moore and that offense, because I think on the defensive side of the ball, Mac Jones going up against the Cowboys defense, unless Trayvon Diggs is not good to go here, I think that should be a bit of a wash, and the Cowboys should be able to create pressure, and The Cowboys have given up a lot of yards through the air on the season because they faced Tom Brady and Justin Herbert and got off to big leads against the Eagles and Giants. So naturally they get up a lot of passing yards that way. But they've still given up some big plays defensively. So those plays could be there, but ultimately the Cowboys have been keeping other teams out of the end zone, which I see continuing, especially with Mac Jones under center. So, but this will still be a test for the Cowboys. I feel like even though they haven't had a really strong opponent since week 2 against the Chargers, Giants, and Eagles, they are what they are. Now facing teams outside the division and going into the bye, this will be an interesting test to deal with Belichick. And then it will be interesting to handle the hostile environment in Minnesota on Sunday Night Football after the bye. But first, let's focus on this game. So predictions, what do I think will happen? I just think that the Cowboys will be too much for the Patriots to handle. As much as Bill Belichick, he'll make it tough on Dak. We might see a bit of a one-possession game through 3 quarters, but then at some point in the second half, the Cowboys and their offense will just put this game away. It won't be easy, and it will be maybe a bit of an ugly score here, but I would say let's go Cowboys 27, Patriots 19, I would say. Yeah, I think that's a good prediction. I'm going to go Cowboys 27, Patriots 19 with the Cowboys. That's a pretty close game, actually. That's still a one-possession game. And you know what? I will stick by that. Maybe it will be the Patriots and Mac Jones getting some garbage time yards and touchdowns. And now I would say it would be a close game early on I'm just trying to envision this in my head. Let's say it would be 20 to 16 or 20 to 13 Cowboys. They got a touchdown to go up 27-13. But then again, Mac Jones and the Patriots get a touchdown late to make it 27-19, but do not convert on the 2-point conversion or whatever, however they get to 19. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's how I think it will go. And thank you. And that's all we have here on this Cowboys Patriots pregame show. So as usual, if you enjoy my commentary, give me a big thumbs up on this video. Leave a comment on what you think, on how you think the game will go tomorrow. As usual, I'll be tuning in, or I'll be going live after the game for a Cowboys Patriots post-game show. But as usual, if you enjoy my commentary, give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And thank you so much for joining me here on this Cowboys Patriots preview here on Line Grit the Mic live. Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow after the game. Go Cowboys.